A series of natural and human-made disasters in the last decade have highlighted the need for all healthcare professionals to be prepared to respond to emergency situations and mass casualty events. A disaster can have many faces: terrorist attacks, weather, pandemics, fires, or explosions. Both Stanford and Lucile Packard Children's Hospitals will be on the front line to receive and care for victims of a disaster. And in addition to patient care, physicians will need to be familiar with our specific disaster and emergency operations plans.
It's therefore vital that physicians have an understanding of the hospital incident command system and their role during a disaster, because it won't just be patient care. They will have to provide disaster-specific and related information to the hospital command system to augment an effective response.
A disaster card has been designed to provide you with vital, just-in-time information in responding to a disaster that affects our community. It includes important locations, such as the hospital command center and treatment areas, emergency hotline information, hospital emergency codes, as well as step-by-step instructions on how to initiate the rapid discharge plan. Disaster cards can be obtained from the Office of Emergency Management. A detailed description of the emergency codes can be found on the OEM intranet site.
Setting up a landing zone, they've got to.
Since large-scale emergency responses often require additional resources and coordination, it is important for you to understand the way the hospitals will operate during a disaster.
It hurts.
During a disaster, hospitals use a standardized process called the Hospital Incident Command System, or HICS.
The Hospital Incident Command System provides a flexible reporting structure. It defines roles and responsibility, sets up communication flow, and documentation.
The goal is to provide the hospital operations section with strategic direction and support by focusing additional resources, such as staff and equipment, on where it is needed most. HICS is not dependent on the presence of any specific individual. The Hospital Incident Command System consists of two essential groups: command staff and the general staff.
The incident commander is in charge of the entire operation and will determine which parts of the plan will be activated.
The command staff consists of the incident commander, public information officer, liaison officer, and safety officer. In many cases, a medical technical specialist may become key advisor to the incident commander.
12 and then a later session.
It is the primary leadership role of a physician in HICS. The public information officer, or PIO, will provide important information updates to external media, staff, and patients. The liaison officer acts as a conduit between the hospital and outside agencies, such as public health, fire, EMS, and law enforcement, as well as other hospitals. The safety officer is responsible for assuring safety of the hospital responders, visitors, and patients. The safety officer monitors the response and anticipates any hazardous or unsafe situations. The safety officer can take appropriate action to eliminate unsafe conditions, operations, or hazards. In some events, the medical technical specialist can assist the incident commander, providing physician-related advice and counsel. Physicians may be asked to fill the role of medical branch director, overseeing the response of the inpatient and outpatient units. Let's take a look at HICS in action. A large earthquake has struck the Bay Area, causing a surge of patients. A hospital-wide emergency is declared, and the command center, located on the 3rd floor in H3210, is activated. Due to the earthquake, power lines have been cut, and the hospital is operating on generator power. Only red emergency power outlets are functional. Additionally, several hospital elevators are temporarily out of service, stranding occupants between floors for extended periods of time. Building assessment teams are dispatched to assess damage to the medical center's infrastructure, and security sets up a perimeter. All personnel are required to wear their hospital-issued photo ID in order to enter the medical center. due to the number of incoming patients, the incident commander activates a code triage. Patient triage is set up outside the emergency department at the ambulance dock. Immediate and delayed casualties are treated in the main emergency departments. If elevators are operational, overflow of immediate and delayed patients will be treated in the cath angio pre- and post-procedure recovery areas.
It just hurts.
Separate casualty care areas for the minor or walking wounded patients are set up in the H1 unit, Radiology East, and the cafeteria in order to not overload the emergency department. Physicians who do not have inpatient responsibilities are reporting directly to the hospital labor pool located in the LPCH auditorium on the first floor. Some physicians will be deployed to patient care areas, while others might be asked to go home to rest and return at a later time to staff a subsequent shift. The pediatric medical technical specialist has the same functions in caring for children's medical needs. Pediatric and neonatal patients present a unique challenge for hospitals.
Because children are so vulnerable in a disaster, a pediatric physician leader should be included as a medical technical specialist. Children have special needs, requiring a specific skill set and specialized equipment.
The operations section reports that multiple trauma patients need surgery. The medical technical specialist advises the incident commander that all elective and non-urgent surgeries should be canceled to free up operating rooms.
Okay, 1, 2, 3.
As the influx of casualties continues, there becomes an immediate need to open hospital beds within a short time frame. The incident commander, in coordination with the medical technical specialist, orders that the rapid discharge plan be activated. Rapid discharge holding areas are established at both hospitals to facilitate getting patients off the units. For SHC, the rapid discharge holding area is the front entrance of the hospital by the fountains and the adjacent hallways. The rapid discharge holding area for LPCH is the short stay unit. In a rapid discharge situation, inpatient physicians will triage their units, determining who can be downgraded to a lower level of care and who can be safely discharged. The inpatient unit coordinates with the operations section chief and the pharmacy unit leader, obtaining prescriptions and discharge instructions to go with the patient. Nursing supervisors and admissions usually will identify the number of beds that may open in the next 2 to 6 hours. The charge nurse of each unit will relay this information to the hospital command center. Should the incident require an evacuation of the hospital, personnel would be drawn from the labor pool to assist in the movement of patients. Specialized equipment would be used to move patients down stairways. Terrorist attacks and natural disasters are part of our reality. And we have a unique opportunity to lead, providing the best medical care for patients and the community through the Hospital Incident Command System.
If you have any other questions, feel free to contact the Office of Emergency Management at 650-723-4785.